Morning, everybody. Rideshare reseller. Yeah, that's me. And we're here to show you what we sold yesterday and what we're going to ship out today. But we're also going to talk about some stuff. And I thought today, I was thinking yesterday about, how lucky I am, right? I mean, I think about it as, I say lucky. And yeah, I hustle. I enjoy hustling and all that kind of stuff. But I'm thinking to myself, as I don't like to watch a lot of news. I maybe watch half hour to an hour worth of TV a day, sometimes none at all. And I get most of my information off of certain websites. And believe it or not, now that my neighbors are giving me newspaper, sometimes I catch a headline, but I don't like our newspaper because it's very, I don't want to get into politics. But anyhow, I do get some headlines from there. And, it seems like the headlines are always this like despair. It's never great. And so I was thinking to myself as I'm looking at these headlines and going, gee, I don't feel this way. I feel like I'm very lucky. If you've watched some of my videos, you've seen what I do and how I have grown over the year. And it's quite interesting, right? And so there was a headline today that said Boeing 6,500 layoffs. I think it said the Bay Area, and that's where I live. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot of people. And this whole COVID-19 thing and how it's basically affecting so many people and so many families. And I was getting to just thinking, and why I do videos. I don't have tons of watchers or anything, but I do these videos because I hope that I can attract one or two persons to get inspired. I'm older now, so I want to pass along certain things. And if I can show them that hard work, hustle, determination, that kind of thing can be done, then so be it, right? Or if I can give them that little push, that little push to get out there and do this. That's what it's all about for me. It's about, hey, look at this is what I find. This is how I found it. I paid nothing for this. I paid $10 for this. It's basically me trying to inspire and basically push people. Nowadays it's tough. I mean, like I said, I'm lucky. I have a lot of, I've just been lucky throughout my life. I had a business for 30 years. I had fun for 25. 5 was a grind. And then I took basically a couple of years off and was feeling my way around. This is how it works, people, is in life. You feel your way around. And I remember my wife saying, she goes, you need to find another business. I mean, going to go crazy, right? So, I was Ubering around, and Ubering gave me all of that thinking time in between passengers. And that's how I started to think about this thrifting. I caught a channel on YouTube, and again, there are many channels on YouTube. I'm just one, but there are many great channels, far better than mine, and they can point you in a lot of different directions, and that's what I did. So I latched on to like Reezy, Rally Roots, and all of them. Bearded Picker, Craigslist Hunter. I love Craigslist Hunter because it's just basically really a simple person. I love the Commonwealth Picker. He is the guy that I probably latched onto really early because he is, straightforward. Down home, he's been doing it. He picks a very difficult area. My area is very wealthy, and you see how I find a lot of very expensive items. But anyhow, what we're getting back to is basically, in these tough times, if you're one of those people who are out there and are on the fence, this is a way to get started to really maybe make some money and boost yourself up. It's extremely doable. It's not that difficult. And yes, I know that some of you are in some very rural areas and some trickier areas. But just now, my son-in-law, he texted me yesterday a few times. He's out in North Carolina. So he moved from where I'm at to North Carolina. And right away, he found 2 items that were pretty darn good, right? So he did find 2 items, and he's starting to already pick out there. And he realizes it's not going to be the same as here. But he found some items. Now, once you find 1 or 2, you find 3 or 4. And then it just starts to build. Look behind me. Look at this mess here that I have. I mean, this is just part of it. I have over 800 items now in my eBay store. 800. Granted, about 100 of those, minimum 100 of those, are now t-shirts, okay? So I still have 700. And not all of them sell. Many are bad buys and so forth. But they do sell eventually. You're going to see one that sold today that was up for a while. And eventually, like I said, my father-in-law, he always, when we had the store, he always would say, hey, Mike, he goes, you know what? I find it so weird, but everything always sells, no matter what. It may take 5 months. It may take a week, but everything sort of eventually sells. It just has to find the right buyer and the right price. That's a big key to this whole thing, is how you price your stuff, right? So anyhow, getting back to just basics, I just hope that somehow we can inspire you in these tough times, these tricky times. It's out there, people. Please, please look around. Look around in your house. Look around at garage sales and start out slow and, you know, be positive. You can do this if I can. I've been doing this 16 months. That's it. I was sitting down thinking to myself, how long have I done it? I've done it 1 year and 4 months, 16 months. And if you see, go back and look at some of my videos, you'll see some of the dollar totals that I've done. I'm about ready to do basically a 6 month. I've been so far behind just in general. And I'm going to get that video out and show you what I did in 6 months. And, you know, you can see what it is. We did really well during this whole COVID thing. It's still been pretty good. There's been a couple of fits and starts in the last 3 or 4 weeks, but nothing major. So anyhow, hey, enough of that, guys. I hope that we can inspire you. Every channel out there, every YouTube channel for picking, it's out there to show you, yes, this can be done. That's what we're trying to do. All right, guys? All right, let's take a look at some of the things that we sold yesterday, all right? We're going to start off with this guy. This is probably at the beginning of the video. I hope I put it there. All right, there it is. It's pretty cool, right? All right, let me get a better view of that. That is Halo video game. It was a limited edition type thing, and the head pops off, and inside would be the video games. So kind of a limited edition thing from Halo, the video game. I have found 3 of these to show you guys. Hey, I found these. The first one I found never got online because when I brought it in the door, my son wanted it. So that one, and I paid $8 for that one. I remember. I should have charged him the $8, right? Just kidding. So anyhow, here is the third one. And this guy, they've actually gone up in price. I remember my first one, I think I sold it for $65 or $70. That was the first one. Now this is the second one. This one sold for $105. $105 going out, all right? And let me give you the totals. Hold on, let me put this down. I'll give you the totals. Now, how I work now is I tell you the actual prices that I sold. So this dollar amount does not include shipping, taxes, or anything from eBay. This is the total of my actual sales. So there is 9 items, $573. Average selling price $63.66. So $573 today and $63.66 average selling price. All right, let's go into something small. This one came from my Honey Hole thrift store, and these guys are very, very good to me. They had the denture guards. I had 32 of those, and those bad boys sold really quick. They also had these. They had 16 of these filters. Hey, here goes my garbage guy. It had 16 of these filters, and I paid $1 each for these, and they sell for $18.99. So this sold for $18.99. Don't make a ton of money, but 16 times, let's say 8 net profit, 80, 124 bucks or so, right? So always look out for multiples. Easy, put them in one listing, and you just sit back and wait. All right, another item that's pretty good that you can find out there and find them pretty regularly are bicycle seats. Now, this one here is Sella Italia. That's a pretty good brand to look for. Now, you can look on the bottom. They're pretty light. When you find the lightweight ones, the shape of these will tell you. Those are generally going to be potentially have a little bit more value. You can find some that go for 100, 150, 200, all that. So this one's not much, but I only paid $2.98 for it, and it sold for $30 and shipping. So it's simple. These are the kind of things you like. These are the easy ships. They just keep creating money. All right, bicycle seats. Where are we gonna go next? Let's go down here. Had this for a while. It was sitting up on our shelf. Oh, by the way, this guy right back here, the guy with the hoses, he is basically another like Halo. He is from another game called, I think, Killzone. And it does the same thing. The head pops off and there's tapes. This one actually has 2 new tapes in it, so brand new. But this one is from Killzone, okay? All right, this was up on that back wall. It's not anymore. T2 the Terminator. It is a Laserdisc special edition set. I'm not gonna take the disc out, but it's kind of cool. It's Arnold, right? There you go, Arnold. And it's very, very interesting. And I got pretty decent money for this. I remember I paid $10. I did pay $10 for this, and I got $51. Okay, there's some shipping on top of that too, but $51 is what I got for this item. 51, and I paid 10. All right, hey, baseball hats, they do really well if you get the right ones. Now, I was at the flea market and I picked up a bunch of hats for $1. This one I really was attracted to because of the color. Number one, it's purple, hopefully you can see it, and it's a New York Yankees, and it's brand new. And this one is a fitted. If many of you don't know, you'll see the fitted 7 3/4. So this would probably fit my big head, because I probably am a 7 3/4 or an 8, something like that. I mean, I've got a big head. So anyhow, $1, and it sold for $19.95. So it paid for all the other hats that I bought. I think I bought 11 or 12. So now all those other hats are going to be pure profit, pure profit. All right, we're going to hold this one up. This is the one that took a little while to sell, but I was very patient because I have sold these before, and you have seen me sell these before if you've watched some past videos. This is a box. I'm gonna I'll also put the picture up here just to help you out so you can see it. But inside this box are Thomas the Train die-cast metal cars. Okay, I don't have the ad in front of me. I think there's 100 and something, 130 maybe. The ad up here will tell you how many there are. And let me get back up here. Sold for $230, and I had paid for a whole lot of Thomas the Train stuff. I think I paid like $80 or $90, so I paid up for this particular lot. But of the lot, I think I sold every other part before this was about $160 and then $230. So we're talking about $400 off of my $80 initial investment, and now I'm out, so no more on that. That lot is gone. $230 for Thomas the Train cars. If you can buy them and lot them up like that, that's usually the way I work with it. All right, let's go. We'll go into this one. All right. It's big and long, but I've got to tell you what you're going to be doing with something like this. All right, this is the Eclipse. I got it upside down. Crazy me. The Eclipse. This is a model airplane, and it's very cool. If you saw my older videos, I bought these from my Honey Hole thrift store. There were 16 of these, various ones, and I paid $20 each. And I don't know how much I made over the time, but I sold some for $250, one for $300. Quite a bit of money for some of these. This one was one of the last ones. This is actually, I thought, a pretty cool one, but it's called a trainer, so it's not worth, trainers aren't worth nearly as much as some other ones. This one I sold for $75, and I believe the shipping's $25. The shipping's going to be spot on, but the reason why I'm showing you this too is that these planes do sell, but some things to keep in mind when you're figuring out how to price this and what you're up against. The post office and FedEx work on the cubic rate, that kind of thing now. So a big key is to keep everything lengthwise under 48 inches. That's huge. Once you go above 48 inches, the price gets crazy. So you really have to think before you buy how you're going to ship this particular item. So this particular item is going to go in its own box, okay? And I'm going to put some tape on it, not a lot, because a lot of these guys like to keep the tape minimal. And I'm going to keep the front of the box as pristine as I can. I'm going to put the label. The label will go on the side of the box, not on the front. So that's where I'll put the label, and that'll keep the front of the box clean so you don't have any problems with maybe the guy at the other end. Some of these guys who do these model planes can be very, very picky, so you have to be very careful. One thing to look for in these is to make sure that the plans are there. One of my planes didn't have the plans, and it can be difficult to sell those because you have to then find those plans, or the person does. So really look them over. This one's complete, and that's the best thing you can do, all right, is continually check your items. It's difficult. I mean, sometimes, you know, this is part of picking. This is part of any business. You're going to have mistakes. You're going to have things that just don't go right. And you just got to move on from those and learn from those. That's the key, is to learn. Sometimes you just got to learn 3 or 4 times. It just doesn't seem to hit your head hard enough. You know, I've known that. It happens a lot. Anyhow, so that's what you do with these. Make sure that, you know, you can ship it, and it's not. And one thing here, let me slow down. There's an eBay calculator. So if you do the search for eBay calculator, you can kind of pre-test these to see what they're going to run. And that's what I use. I will measure these up, put it in the pre-calculator if I'm a little confused to make sure, and I'll always use the longest distance. So for me, from California, I always use New York or Boston, and that's how I figure out many of these weights and what it's going to cost me. And then everything in between, either I'll adjust if they ask, or it just stays the same. All right? So that's how you do that. And one more thing, a big tip. USPS, you can wrap this in brown paper, craft paper, okay? FedEx, you cannot wrap in brown paper. So I found that out a couple times. One time, and then the second time it was a knucklehead. So you have to remember that brown paper, you can wrap it for a post office, but FedEx, no. So that's why this is going to go just in its box, because I could wrap it in a white poly bag. It's a real pain. This should be fine to ship. All right, I think, let me see, I got one more. I want to show you this one too, because I got to teach you a couple things here. All right, hopefully I can make this work. What is this, right? Here we go. Take a peek. All right, so this little guy is a camera. Yes, it's a camera. And it came off of one of my camera lots. This one came off of the free lot, which I just got. And it, you know, even for me, I know photography. This one took a little while for me to figure out. It's a little puzzle. But this is a Voigtlander. Voigtlander. It's Voitlander. And I'm going to show you how it works. On the side, you would think on the back, this is kind of the back. You see this little wheel? It's like, oh, that's got to open it, right? You know, spin that and it opens. No, that doesn't do it. There's a little nod right here on the side of these Voigtlanders. And there we go. You push it, and voila, the camera starts to open. Now you can see the lens, right? Not done there, so you're going to test it a little further. And this is actually the way it goes, okay? So now I'm going to open it. And there's 2 little tabs inside here. And I'm going to pull them. And out comes the camera with the bellows. So pretty cool, right? Now, this one is broken. And I can tell you why. The back, you can see here's the back. It's not there, right? The back is gone. Now, they make some slides here, some things, different things for this, but I got this for free. So now I put this up online for $39.95, and it sold within a day and a half. And I got shipping. I think I got like $17 shipping. If it was in good shape, had the back, if I had the back, 80 to 100, okay? But people need them for the lens, the parts, and so forth, right? So that's why I knew I still was gonna sell it, and I did. So don't pass these little old cameras up. You gotta check them, and you gotta get them cheap. This was free, that's cheap. And if you can, then they'll sell, all right? Pretty cool little item, right? All right, hey guys, that looks like it's it. I don't think I've got anything else here for you. I'm looking around, there's nothing. All right, talked a little longer today, but I felt like it, and I sure hope that anybody out there who is sitting on that fence and, you know, trying to figure out a way, and times are tough, slower, this is a good option, guys. You can start with stuff in your house and move out from there, and you can find free and stuff like that. Believe me, you can get out there and do it. And hey, as always, thank you to everyone who listens and watches. Thanks again, and I will see you soon.